お休み前に英語で国内ニュースの時間です。今日の話題を英語でどうぞ。
Japan has entered a nationwide influenza outbreak. More than one influenza patient per medical institution was reported during the week through August 23. On August 28th, the Health Ministry announced the outbreak. This was an unusually early announcement because it came during August based on nationwide reports.
A major debris flow struck the Nepal-China border area on August 26th. So far, 472 deaths have been confirmed, and more than 1,400 people remain unaccounted for. 5 Japanese nationals also cannot be contacted. The disaster has caused widespread loss of life, and there are concerns about secondary disasters.
Yamanaka Takeharu, the mayor of Yokohama, submitted his resignation to the city council speaker on August 28th. He had been found responsible for serious power harassment toward city employees. The mayor held a news conference from about 4 p.m. to explain his views. His resignation follows the finding.
A Tokyo court gave guilty verdicts to the former head of Moomri, a job resignation service, and his wife, a former employee. They admitted referring clients to lawyers for negotiations about leaving their jobs and receiving referral fees. The former head received 2 years in prison, suspended for 3 years. His wife received 18 months, also suspended.
Japan had 2,435 children waiting for a place in daycare as of April 1st, according to an August 28th announcement. The number rose by 181 from the previous year, the first increase in 9 years. Tokyo had the most, with 1,113. Free fees for first children may have increased demand.
Record heavy rain caused damage in Ishikawa and Toyama prefectures, where the highest level of heavy rain warning was issued. On August 28th, damage and other effects were still being reported. Residents were busy cleaning up and responding to the situation. Some people said they could not travel back and forth around their neighborhoods.
President Donald Trump ordered the name of Lake Ontario to be changed to Lake America. He said the change would take effect immediately and directed the Interior Department to update the federal name system within 30 days. Trump also suggested that the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, or both might be renamed.
Japan's National Police Agency plans to create a new Foreign Affairs Intelligence Bureau next fiscal year. The bureau would be separated from the Security Bureau by upgrading its current Foreign Affairs Division. The agency wants stronger abilities to respond to spying by foreign organizations. A revision to the police law will be prepared.
Fake advertisements made with artificial intelligence are spreading, using the names of Japanet, Fujiya, and Mosburger. All 3 companies say they have absolutely nothing to do with the ads. The companies' names are being linked to AI-created advertisements, but the advertisements are not official messages from the companies.
次は社会のニュースです。
A Tokyo court gave a suspended sentence to Shinji Tenamoto, the former president of the company behind Moomri, a resignation service. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 3 years, for illegally referring clients to lawyers. His wife also received a suspended sentence, and the company was fined 2 million yen.
Yokohama Mayor Takaharu Yamanaka has announced that he plans to resign over a power harassment scandal. He had wanted to stay in office, but political groups and supporters demanded that he take responsibility. An investigation found that he misused his authority and called employees insulting names. He said he would resign after reflecting on his actions.
Japan's National Police Agency plans to create a new Foreign Affairs Intelligence Bureau next fiscal year. The bureau will be separated from the Security Bureau to strengthen responses to spying and other activities by foreign organizations. Its divisions will handle regions including Russia and China, international terrorism, and cases connected to North Korea.
More than 2,400 children were waiting for places at daycare centers across Japan as of April this year. The number increased for the first time in 9 years. A shortage of child care workers is one reason for the rise. The figures concern children waiting for available places at daycare facilities.
Japan's Supreme Court has finalized a ruling against a visually impaired couple who sued Kanagawa Prefecture. Police officers entered their home in 2019 after receiving a report about shouting. A lower court had ordered compensation, but a higher court found the entry lawful. The Supreme Court rejected the couple's appeal, saying there was no legal reason to overturn that decision.
The operator of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant says it found a hole up to about 3 meters wide at the bottom of the reactor in Unit 3. Nuclear fuel melted during the accident. The discovery provides more detail about the condition of the reactor's bottom where the fuel melted and fell.
Heavy rain hit Hokuriku and Hokkaido on August 28th, and more intense rain is possible this afternoon. Hokuriku faces a serious risk of landslides. People should stay away from cliffs and swollen rivers. Very heavy rain may also occur in parts of eastern Japan, Shikoku, Kyushu, and Okinawa as the weather changes quickly.
Japan's National Police Agency plans to introduce wearable cameras for police officers nationwide next fiscal year. The cameras will be attached to officers' bodies and record their actions during duties such as questioning people and enforcing traffic rules. Officials hope the recordings will prevent disputes and support proper police work.
A parliamentary committee questioned the president of a public broadcaster about its handling of a staff member who suffered sexual abuse by a program guest. The president said the response placed more pressure on the victim and promised stronger prevention measures. Lawmakers also asked the broadcaster to release part of a roughly 60-page report with private details removed.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Yokohama Mayor Takeharu Yamanaka has announced plans to resign over a power harassment scandal. He made the announcement at a supporters meeting on August 28th. A city assembly faction had called for his resignation. Yamanaka did not say whether he would run in a new mayoral election. He reportedly insulted staff, calling them useless.
Liberal Democratic Party Secretary General Suzuki met with leaders of the party's Fukuoka prefectural organization and heard their views on its future response. Criticism has grown over a series of actions by the Fukuoka Prefectural Assembly. Suzuki said the party needs to create conditions for endorsing candidates in next spring's prefectural assembly election.
The Constitutional Democratic Party of Japan has explained to its lawmakers that it will not merge with the Chudo Reform Coalition and Komeito. Party leaders confirmed this policy at an extraordinary standing executive committee meeting. At a meeting with lawmakers, no objections were raised, according to the party.
Japan plans to begin a Kyushu tourism support program in October or later after the Kumamoto earthquake. Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism Minister Kaneko said accommodation costs and other expenses could be discounted by as much as 60%. The program is intended to support tourism in Kyushu, which was affected by the earthquake.
Universal Studios Japan is considering expanding into a former Nippon Steel factory site next to the park. If realized, this would be the first expansion since the park opened in 2001, increasing its area by about 10%. The roughly 60,000 square meter site is owned by Osaka City and others. Its current lease ends in 2027.
At a news conference on August 28th, a vice president of Takanaka Corporation apologized over an arrest in a breach of trust case involving Expo construction work. The vice president spoke about the case and apologized on behalf of the company.
A trend called NISA poverty is drawing attention in Japan. At an event in Nagoya, investors described extreme efforts to fill their annual NISA limit of 3.6 million yen. One person said they invest 110,000 yen from a monthly income of 200,000 yen. Another invests 70% of income. An expert called this very dangerous.
Toyota's global sales in July fell 4.8% from a year earlier to 856,125 vehicles. This was the first year-on-year decline in 2 months. Sales in China dropped 24.3% as high gasoline prices linked to the Middle East crisis hurt demand for engine-powered cars. Sales rose 11% in Japan but fell 0.8% in the United States.
Consumer prices in Tokyo's 23 wards rose 1.8% in mid-August from a year earlier, according to a preliminary index excluding fresh food. Food prices rose 3.9%, with sushi up 20% and boxed lunches up 26.7%. Rent increased 1.9%. Electricity and gas prices fell with government support. Plastic bags also became more expensive.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Japan Rugby League One has reached a settlement with players over its new registration rules from the 2026 to 27 season. Foreign-born players who became Japanese citizens will be treated like Japanese-born players. The league changed its original plan after 27 players complained that the rules were unfair and sought action from authorities and a court.
Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto started against the Atlanta Braves and pitched well, allowing 1 run before the 7th inning ended. However, the Dodgers gave him no run support. He missed the chance to earn his 13th win of the season and suffered his 8th loss.
Japan won its opening game in the second round of the Men's Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers. Playing away against Saudi Arabia, Japan won 106-78. Rui Hachimura, back with the national team, led both teams with 29 points.
Yakult pitcher Masanori Ishikawa had a difficult return. The 46-year-old baseball's oldest player recorded only 1 out, allowing 5 hits and 6 runs. He left after 24 pitches because of left shoulder pain. Ishikawa was seeking a record 25th straight season with a win, but his next start is uncertain.
Concern has emerged that the Los Angeles Dodgers could be sold because owner Mark Walter is under a federal investigation involving loans from an insurance company under his control. The team president has repeatedly denied a sale. Authorities are examining whether the loans were hidden or handled improperly. Walter also faces pressure to reduce them.
The NFL says it will no longer hold Pro Bowl games starting with the 2026 season. The Pro Bowl will continue as an honor for top players chosen by players, coaches, and fans. 88 players will be officially selected with no replacement selections. The players will receive awards in Los Angeles in January 2027.
Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Roki Sasaki has been placed on the 15-day injured list because of a blister on his right middle finger. Sasaki started against the Atlanta Braves on August 26th, but the blister broke during the fourth inning. He left the game after the injury.
Oryx announced that 31-year-old Tomoya Mori had surgery on his left wrist on August 26th. In his fourth season with Oryx, Mori had played in 66 games, mainly as a designated hitter or pinch hitter. His return this season may be difficult.
Ryukoku University suspended its hardball baseball club for 1 month after repeated violence against younger students and unreported thefts in its dormitory. More than 20 students reported stolen money and other items. The university will end its all-dorm system, but the team will play in the Kansai Six Universities League this fall.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
A massive landslide struck the Nepal-China border area on the 26th. So far, 472 deaths have been confirmed, and more than 1,400 people are missing. Authorities also cannot contact 5 Japanese people. There are concerns that a second disaster could occur in the affected area.
A large natural dam has formed near the meeting point of rivers in Nepal and China after landslides and floods. China's water authorities warn it may collapse. The dam already holds about 2 million cubic meters of water and is overflowing. Another 3 million may arrive within 3 days, with water peaking September 1st.
6 months have passed since the Trump administration began military operations against Iran. During that time, traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has fallen sharply. The strait has been a major route for Japan's oil imports. The number of tankers and cargo ships passing through is now about 1/10 of the level before the operations began.
Amid a sharp tariff dispute between the United States and Canada, President Trump signed an executive order to rename Lake Ontario, one of the Great Lakes, as American Lake. Canadian Prime Minister Carney objected, saying the lake has been called Ontario for more than 400 years.
Mladic, a former commander of an armed group, has died while serving a life sentence. The sentence was imposed over a 1995 massacre in the former Yugoslavia. The massacre has been called Europe's worst since the end of World War II.
A federal court in California ruled that the Defense Department acted arbitrarily and unconstitutionally when it named AI company Anthropic a supply chain risk. Anthropic's Claude had been the only generative AI used in classified U.S. military systems and was reportedly used in the Iran operation. Anthropic sued after being excluded from government contracts.
An El Niño event is raising concern about water shortages around the Panama Canal. Because the canal uses large amounts of water, officials plan to cut daily traffic from 36 ships starting in early September to 32 ships after September 15th. Honduras and El Salvador have issued warnings, and a deeper drought could affect Japan's logistics.
UEFA is reportedly preparing a criminal complaint against FIFA President Gianni Infantino, calling his role in a failed World Cup rights sale criminal managerial negligence. He planned a new company to sell rights to private investors, but withdrew the plan 4 days after announcing it and apologized. UEFA also says the proposed valuation was absurdly low.
United Nations Secretary-General Guterres has expressed strong concern about the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He says infections are spreading at an unprecedented speed. Guterres is calling on countries to cooperate in containing the outbreak. He urged international cooperation to stop the disease from spreading further.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Artist Yayoi Kusama has died. She continued creating polka dot and networks throughout her life. During studio visits, she sometimes shyly asked people whether they liked her new paintings. As a child, she saw dots and heard flowers speaking. She said she made art to overcome illness and would become an artist again in another life.
The new Madoka Magica film opened in theaters at midnight on August 28th. It is the first new film in 13 years. After 3 postponements, fans expressed relief and strong emotions online. The movie is an official sequel to the 2013 film Rebellion, continuing the popular magical girl story.
Season 25 of the TV drama Abu will begin in October and run for 2 broadcast periods. Yutaka Mizutani will return as Yukio Sugishita, with Yasufumi Teruwaki as Kaoru Kameyama. It will set a record for the most seasons in a Japanese serial drama. The opening special will show a national crisis involving the sitting prime minister.
Shogi player Sota Fujii is now 1 win away from winning the Oi title for a 7th straight time. This follows the 5th game of this year's Oi title match. Fuji is close to another championship with only 1 more victory needed to complete the 7-time title run.
Go player Ryo Ichiriki has taken the first win in the Meijin title match. The result gives him an early advantage in the series. This was the opening game of the match, marking a positive start for Ichiriki as the Meijin competition moves forward.
British actor Tim Curry has died at age 80. His manager said he died on the 25th at his home in Los Angeles and passed away peacefully. The cause of death was not released. Curry was known for the Rocky Horror Show, Home Alone 2, The Three Musketeers, Charlie's Angels, and voice acting.
Vervont's 2nd season is drawing attention by revealing new cast members and surprise appearances almost every week. The next episode, the drama's 16th overall, will air on August 30th. Its first episode reached an 18.8% rating, and the show has stayed above 15% for 5 straight episodes. Viewers are eager for the next reveal.
A broadcaster's president was questioned by a committee of Japan's upper house over an inappropriate response to a staff member who suffered sexual abuse by a program performer. He said the organization regrets adding to the victim's burden and will prevent a repeat. The investigation report is about 60 pages. Lawmakers urged release of a redacted version.
The publisher of Weekly Diamond announced that its paper edition will end at the end of March 2027. The magazine will then become fully digital. It began in 1913 as a monthly magazine and launched a paid digital membership service in 2019. The change ends its printed publication after more than a century.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。